What are linear inequalities? Linear inequalities is a mathematical topic compare data points that are not equal. Now, comparison and inequality go hand in hand. When we say x less than y, we're making a comparison. Similarly, we compare men and women, the rich and the poor, the educated and the uneducated. However, what we don't realize is that comparing people on different levels is pointless. When we're comparing two linear inequalities, we ensure that the coefficient of one or more variables is the same. Likewise, in real life, comparing two social groups without the same resources is unreasonable. Elevate the second group to the same level, and I guarantee that the less than will change to an equal to. Bringing about this parity is what I'm really passionate about. This passion led me to start the Accessible India Initiative. To set the situation up, I want all of you to close your eyes for a second and picture this. You're in a wheelchair and you're at the best restaurant in the city. You have looked forward to this for days now. But when you reach there, you see a flight of stairs. Everybody around you is climbing the staircase, but you are there, unable to move, unable to join your friends. This challenge is faced by the disabled community every single day. It has now been 75 years since India's independence, but they're still bound by the shackles of inaccessibility. We compare them with their counterparts without giving them the resources that we have. While all of us consider going out for dinner to be a relatively menial task, for them, being accommodated at a restaurant of their choice continues to be difficult. They are plagued with all sorts of questions. Will there be a ramp? Will there be a toilet to accommodate me? Will the entrance be accessible? And the list goes on. These questions are the result of a change that took place 7 years ago. Nearly 7 years back, the National Building Code removed the clause that stated the necessity of disabled-friendly toilets in restaurants. While it was still necessary for malls and public places to have them, strangely, restaurants were exempted. This change excluded an entire part of our population and made them further distant from the narrative of living a normal life. Compromises were made then and now, and lakhs of more buildings got constructed that are not just inaccessible but hostile to India's disabled population. We're all aware that Chandigarh is known to be the city beautiful, and I thought so too, until I noticed something very strange. Chandigarh is beautiful, but not for everybody. Let me bring your attention to some data. My team and I conducted a survey in almost 80 restaurants and public places, and we looked for three things: disabled-friendly toilets, an ISL-trained employee, and ramps within an accessible distance. We found that there were only 3 disabled-friendly toilets in the entire city, and less than 50% of the places surveyed had a ramp. The most shocking of all was to see the absence of these in places like gardens, parks, and lakes. And even though a lot of them indicated that they were disabled friendly, the doorway wasn't even wide enough for a wheelchair to fit. What do we take away from this? 2.21% of the Indian population is disabled. While that doesn't seem like a lot, it totals up to almost 26 million people. That is 26 million people deprived of basic needs. 26 million people who cannot go out and lead a normal life and are forced to feel different. A petition was started as a plea to the government to bring back inclusive building code and initiate the construction of disabled-friendly toilets in India. This petition now has over 7,200 signatures. This means more than 7,200 people believe in our cause. We received a lot of comments on the petition, and I would like to quote some of them. Quote, "I want to see my country which is accessible when I step out of my house without thinking twice and shutting down in the 4 walls of my house for petty reasons such as washroom inaccessibility." Unquote. Quote, "India has absolutely no building code for the handicapped. Every hotel, bus station, cab is handicapped friendly. All public places have ramps. Hotels have handicapped room. This is all standard practice in advanced nations, but as a nation, we simply dump our senior citizens and the disabled. There is a bill in parliament pending for years. Unquote. It is testimonials like these that make all this effort very worth it. My team and I also emailed certain government authorities like the Bureau of Indian Standards and the Engineering Council of India, but this was all in vain as we never received a response, and even if we did, we were only redirected from one department to another. Receiving media support for the same furthered our agenda to the public and made it more widespread. Oddly enough, one question I always received was why. It was as if I was expected to give an answer pertaining to somebody in my family. But God forbid that one day something happens and you and I are in a wheelchair. Do we need to wait until then for this to be changed? Do we need to wait until then to be the question, to the answer to the why? My fight needs to become your fight. Our fight to make India accessible does not end until there are disabled-friendly toilets in every corner of the country. Our fight does not end until the oppressive building code is changed to be more inclusive. Sitting in the audience today are future change makers. Each one of you has the power to bring about this change. You and I can make the country more accessible and ensure, as future policymakers, lawyers, and architects, that there isn't another toilet constructed that our fellow disabled citizens cannot access. You and I can change the less than to an equal to. Thank you.